Ladies and gentlemen, what's the main thing that separates the rich from the poor? If you ask any of the people who are free of financial burdens, or at least the majority of them, they're all going to tell you the same thing. We're going to talk about if it's actually possible to adapt the mindset of a millionaire. And honestly, and I know this sounds out there, I know exactly what I sound like coming from a dirt poor family. Becoming a millionaire is actually not that difficult. We're going to teach you how to adapt the mindset and what you could do to push it forward. I am Mark Melnick. This is the Newsbeat Show. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Newsbeat Show. Just very obvious here by watching this video, you are going to pause this, read this, and agree to it. Thank you so much for doing that. Okay, let's just uh, let's just get right into it. I know it sounds bold. I know exactly what I sound like. And I am telling you right now, becoming a millionaire is not a difficult task. You are talking to somebody who has done it 3 times in my life. And I'm going to take you through that process and I'm going to share with you what I've learned. And, you know, I came from a dirt poor neighborhood over in Brooklyn. Just real quick, you could see like, how's that little slice mark right there? Knife fights, been shot at, been had a lovely time. Something that I didn't even want to have kids unless I was able to guarantee to bring them up in a different lifestyle. Of course, I've always wanted to be a father, and I am so blessed that I am. But I will tell you, growing up, um, when I was in the third grade, teachers were asking us what we wanted to be when we grew up and what did we want to do when we grew up and things like that. And they were going around the room and they're going around the room. And of course, third grade Mark Melnick over here, and I skipped a year of school, which I think my parents were so stupid of doing. Like, you don't skip your child ahead in school. I know it makes the parent probably feel proud that their child was able to do it, but your kid is the youngest kid in class wherever they go. Not fun. Um, but I will say that third grade Mark Melnick, which was as old as a second grader, basically said that I wanted to live past the age of 21. And of course, as some of you know, I was called into the principal's office. My mother had to come to the school. They thought maybe my parents, now in hindsight, I noted it now, not at the time. Maybe they thought my parents were like abusing me. But when they asked me about it, I talked about the gunshots, the needles, and everything, and how needles can hurt you and you're not supposed to touch them. And I was telling this, and to see the principal, my teacher, and mom all looking at each other, they really had no real solution to tell me. I remember my mom took me out and bought me Burger King afterwards, and that was sort of my, oh, we love you and you've been through a hard time, let's reward you type mentality. But ever since then, I've gone through a myriad of changes. 19 years old, professional video gamer, dropped out of St. John's University in my second year as a computer programmer, had a full scholarship, track everything, to run around in circles for the rest of my life, dropped out, and became a day trader at 19 years old. And from there, by the time, not when I first turned 20, I mean, really, it was like towards the end. So I would say it was took me about a year and maybe 2 months, and I was able to make a little over like $1.1 million dollars. And at that point, I thought trading, I was 19, turned 20, thought trading was the greatest job in the world. It was so easy. Everything was in fractions at the time. There was SOS, SelectNet, different ways of buying things if you're unfamiliar with the terms. And trading was easy. Basically, um, I felt any idiot could do it in the world, and maybe that's why I was so successful at it because I didn't consider myself some, ultra intellectual scholar. I just dropped out of college. So just think of it in terms of that. Granted, that's obviously not a sign of intelligence or stupidity. And since then, I've traded. I've after that $1 million year, a few years later, I had like a $37,000 year. Then I had several low six-figure years, mid six-figure years, low whatever throughout the years. And then 2008 comes, I become a millionaire again, get married, get divorced, lose it all, lose it all again, and come whatever again, able to make that $1 million P&L. And this is all from trading, not outside businesses, just so we're clear. But what is really the main thing that separates the rich from the poor? And you might say, oh, well, what's in your bank account? If you ask any of the people who are free of financial burdens, they're going to tell you the same thing. It's their mindset. And as shocking as it may seem, rarely any millionaire will tell you that their wealth comes from a great contract they nailed or an investor they met along the way. A millionaire mindset. Rich people, I believe, unless it was just directly inherited, and a lot of times they'll inherit the values behind it as well. Rich people mastered one very important skill, and it's to make their mind work for them. Our mind really just has one goal, and it is our survival. That is the what we call the primitive human brain. We have parts of our brain that were identical to the caveman era, in which survival was the key to our longevity, to reproduce and survive. That's how you continue the human species. Anything that is out of the ordinary is a potential threat. And so we will naturally try to pull it back and keep you where you are now. The problem with that is that it keeps you away from new opportunities, and that is a very key thing for trading success, learning, growing. It's all the essential parts of being rich. If I knew what I knew now, 30 years ago, I think I would be one of the richest people on the planet. And I'm not talking even the hindsight of knowing where a stock will go or winning lottery numbers. Really, I really feel that way, that I would be up there. And I feel that you might be up there too if you were to know what I'm about to share with you. So, we're going to talk about how to develop the millionaire mindset. And I even took it a step further in my 2020 report, but for now, I'm going to share with you the millionaire mindset. First, I want you to focus on what you want, not on what you don't want. I'll explain that. Many people don't know. Do you know that when you call somebody on the phone, they actually miss about the first 6 seconds of what you say? Do you know their brain, most of the time, the vast majority of people will miss the first 6 seconds of what you say to them on the phone? Or when you enter an aisle, even in any shop or the supermarket, you will not notice the first 3.5 to 4 feet of shelving that is on your side when you walk in an aisle. Did you know that? It's just how our senses work. We need a bit of time to adjust and start noticing and registering things. So we'll go back to that. But ask any rich and successful person, and they will share with you the power of positive thinking and visualization. They'll tell you that you need to get clarity on what you want. By doing so, you're going to start attracting all these things to life. When somebody told me that, I thought it was absolute BS, absolute nonsense for the longest time because I tried thinking positive for a while and I didn't become rich. And I'm like, what the heck is this nonsense? Just doesn't work for me. And it's somebody just trying to sugarcoat either getting lucky or hard work personified, whatever it was. Now, here's a little trick. When you do it, you need to frame your visions and dreams in a positive way. If you frame it in a negative way, you're going to attract the opposite. Why? Because words like don't and not are like those first 6 seconds of that phone call, or the first few feet when you walk inside a shop. They just don't get noticed. So if your goal is to, for example, make money and stay employed as a trader during, you know, 2020, you need to keep thinking, I want to keep my job as a trader rather than I don't want to lose my job as a trader. With don't being unnoticed, your wish turns into I want to lose my job. Remember, you don't notice the first 6 seconds. I speak to board certified psychologists. They are floored when we have these conversations, when I have these conversations with them and they share their feedback. So by saying I don't want to lose my job, your brain misses the first part of that sentence. And it literally turns into I want to lose my job. And that's actually what happens. It's actually not your fault. It's just the way the human brain was designed. Just like the first 6 seconds of the phone call, just like when you walk in the shopping, a new aisle, every single aisle you turn to in the shopping store or supermarket, let's say, Whole Foods, whatever it is. We have Wegmans over here. It's a great store. You're not going to notice the first 3.5 to 4 feet. Now you might make a conscious thing to try to do it now, but if you're just going through, you're not even gonna notice it. So that is the first thing I want you to think about when you want to be a trader for 2020. I want you to say, I want to keep my job as a trader rather than I don't want to lose. Notice the word keep and lose. I want to keep my job as a trader rather than I don't want to lose my job as a trader. And I promise you, if you can follow this mindset on top of everything we share with you, becoming a millionaire becomes I really detest the word when referring to making money, but it becomes easy. And I do I do not say that lightly, and I know exactly what that sounds like. The next thing is find a mentor who gives a crap about you and then copy them. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Too often we think to ourselves, "Oh, I can do it better. I'm going to do it my way." And then you try and you try and try. And you fail. If there is already a proven recipe for success, just copy and paste it. You want to know why so many people are successful in the Newsbeat live room? Because what I do is easy to copy and paste. The one and done strategy is one of the easiest strategies out there once you catch the drift of it. Having to know hundreds and hundreds of pages of, work and concepts and education, people are not going to be able to copy that. I guarantee you, my 4-year-old who will be turning 5, and by the way, when he turns 6, I'm going to let him become a day trader. I'm going to actually let him trade a one and done strategy when he's 6 years old. I told him already. He doesn't even know what it is. He has no concept of really of what money is at this stage in life. I'm going to show him the one and done. You have to find really somebody who inspires you. And yes, I will do my best to inspire you. If you could get in touch with them, see if you could get mentored by them. If not, follow their trainings, their videos, their articles, any other content they give away, similar to what I give away for you guys here on the Newsbeat show. So that's the second thing. The third thing is don't let your ego control you. And many times, it's another blessing of having kids, germs. And don't let your ego control you. And many times we let our ego take control of our behavior. When somebody hurts us, whenever we hear no to our request, whenever we get rejected, we start activating to protect our ego. Scientifically, when a guy asks a girl out and a girl says no, it's similar to the feeling of getting physically injured. Did you know that? Your brain will release a similar concoction of chemicals to the body, which will actually make you feel humiliated and injured. You literally go into a fight or flight mode um, when you get rejected. And the way you get over it is obviously just getting rejected 100 to 1,000 times where it doesn't bother you anymore. We start activating to protect our ego. We become proud. The problem with that is what our ego wants at such moments is rarely what's good for you in the long run. Imagine, for example, you found somebody that that you want to mentor them. Excited and confident, you approach them and ask them if they will mentor you. Ask them if they will coach you, and they say no. No explanation, just a harsh no. How would you react? Fine, then no, you're going to regret it. You'll see, I'll find a better mentor than you. Yeah, they'll protect your ego, but is it going to really help you? If this person really has a lot to teach you and for whatever reason they don't or can't mentor you, then create your own reality in which you'll still be able to learn from them. Allow your pride to feel a bit hurt. It's okay because it's about something a lot more important here. It's about you and your future success. And just so we're clear, I go absolutely out of my way to make sure that I am available to my members. I mean, all week I've been hopping on just just doing things like this, and I'll show you, just doing things like this where like, and I've been doing this all week, working the report. I'm working on my 2020 report, in room answering questions. Remember, these aren't recorded videos, just making myself more accessible so I can bring more value. I always try to be there as best as I can for our members of our community. And I also do a lot to be there for you, whether you're a member of the community or not. Hence why I'm doing this video right now. You have to remember allowing your pride to feel a bit hurt is okay because it's all about you and your future success. At the end of the day, I honestly, people don't realize this. I honestly don't care if you like me or not. I just want you to be a successful trader. You don't have to want to have a beer with me. You don't have to like the way I look. God knows, every time I walk by a mirror, there's a frown on it. But all kidding aside, I'm here to just help you succeed. I have no other goals for you. I may or may not want to be your friend. I may or may not agree with 99% of the things you do. That's none of my concern. I just want you to be a successful trader. The fourth thing is I want you to treat yourself like your best friend. And a lot of traders don't notice this, but have you ever noticed how you talk to yourself when you trade? Who here notices it? Be honest. If your best friend talked to you like you talk to yourself, you wouldn't be friends. Oh, you're such an idiot. You shouldn't do that. Oh, this is so effing dumb. I can't believe how effing stupid this is. If somebody talked to you like that, you wouldn't be friends. We're often rude to ourselves, demotivating, holding back. That's not the way to treat other people. So why on earth would you treat yourself like that? Here's how to change it. Next time you're in a trade, you take a losing trade, you feel bad, you're this, you hit a low point. Imagine, just imagine that it's your, and if you need to take notes of what we're saying, take notes of what we're saying, rewatch this video, please. You know, I could be writing the 2020 report right now and I could just tweet out that I'm skipping this video. I'm going to be doing little group coaching and technical analysis with the room afterwards, and I'm trying to help you. Here's how to do it. Imagine it's your best friend who's feeling that low. What would you tell them? What would you tell them if it was your best friend, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife, your whoever it is that you're, whoever it is, whomever it is? What would you tell them? Now I want you to say the same thing to yourself. And that is how you get past those moments. Another thing is, a lot of people have been taking, the next thing is there are no such things as a small success. A lot of the traders out there are taking my 10 cents challenge and they're like, Mark, it's changing my life. A challenge where you just try to make one trade and 10 cents on the trade. We all have big goals. And once we achieve them, we feel like accomplishing a great success. We feel pride, we're happy, we're satisfied. But what about everything on the way, the journey? There is no such thing as a small success or a big success. Believe it or not, there are no successes that are worth celebrating and those that are not. I'll explain. Every success, if yours counts, all successes are big and they should all be celebrated. The size doesn't matter. Welcome small successes, and you'll notice how your day turns into one big continuous success. You see, it's kind of funny how many of you, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Newsbeat members and other people I've spoken to, who are struggling in trading, losing, dropping out all along the way. And they just followed me on this stupid little 10 cents thing where they tried to make 10 cents, log out of their account, and do it every day for a month. They didn't make a lot of money. Some people made a couple $1,000, $1,000, few thousand, few $100. But you know what happened afterwards? They chipped away at their psychological toxicity. They chipped away of their lack of self-confidence. They were gaining more self-confidence, and they were able to suddenly have 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 months afterwards. And they don't understand what happened. But what I did is I literally gave you the true recipe for success. All I'm doing was chipping away your psychological toxicity and building up your confidence from the ground up. That's all I did. That's all I did for you. And you grew into it and you flourished. You plant a seed in poisonous, toxic tar soil. You don't give it sunlight, it grows disgusting. You plant a seed in topsoil, which, whatever, the fertilized soil, and you give it tons of sunlight, tons of water, and it grows into something beautiful. A lot of times, what I have to do for you traders, analogically speaking, is rip you out by the roots, crush your entire foundation that you built up that is failing for you. I mean, you look like the Leaning Tower of Pisa before it's one brick from falling over. That's what a lot of you look like. And I literally just uproot you, plant you in some new soil, start you from the beginning, water you, and you blossom into something beautiful. Every success counts and should be celebrated. There is no such thing as a big success or a small success. Your brain, scientifically and psychologically speaking, can only interpret success. The truth is, winning $1, making $1 every single day for a month, to your brain feels more valuable than going out and winning a lottery. It's not as important, obviously, financially. I get that. Your brain won't know the difference. And isn't that the whole point of trading is psychology? The only time you grow is when you feel uncomfortable. And here's another thing. You know that how many traders come to me and say, "Mark, I never seen trading like this before." And they'll come to me and they're like, "I'm a swing trader. I'm this type of trader." And I'll say, "Okay, how much money are you up doing that?" And oh, I'm losing money doing that. So why would you identify with something that doesn't work? It's like coming out and saying that I'm a UFC fighter, but I don't believe in physical violence. It doesn't exactly fit the bill. And and a lot of times I put traders in situations that they didn't even know trading could be like that. Like the one and done in which we did in Amazon. It sounds stupid. You buy through the top of the 1 minute bar. We even teach you how to front run it. And people in the room do it. We literally have a video. Type in on YouTube Newsbeat next word front run, and you'll find the video for free. This was Amazon on Friday. Here's a 1 minute chart. We bought through 1883.37. The stock went up $7.50 in 1 minute, followed by another $8 in another minute. So literally, the stock went up 14 bucks in 2 minutes. Now you might be saying, Amazon, $1,800 stock. I can't trade that. Nonsense. There are traders who are in our room. One trader had a 20 has had because he made more money, had a $2,500 account, bought $600 worth of calls, and at least claimed to me that she made $1,400 in Amazon in 2 minutes with 600 bucks. Turned a $2,500 account to 3,900 in one day. To me, that's inspiring. 2 minutes. How did you know to focus on Amazon? We take you through that entire process. So a lot of times I do put you in situations where you're initially uncomfortable, not because you're going to be uncomfortable in it, it's because it's unknown to you. And I know that your mind likes to keep things the way they are as a trader, but if you keep doing the same things, you're gonna have the same things. What was it that Einstein said? If you keep doing the same thing over and over and wish for different results, isn't that the definition of insanity? If you want to change what you have, you're gonna have to try something else. If you want to change the fruits, you have to change the roots. You have to get outside of your comfort zone to make these changes. If you're not fully satisfied with where you are in life right now, even as a trader or in life in general, change something. Go out there, put yourself in situations that are new, which you will naturally be uncomfortable in. This is the only way to grow and learn. Next time you feel that clutching feeling in your stomach, think to yourself, I'm learning, I'm becoming a better person, I'm moving towards becoming richer and more successful. You might not see it yet, ladies and gentlemen, but I do. Rather than fear and fight, when when there's discomfort, embrace it. Working out, you're pulling your muscles, you're tearing your muscle fibers. You're working out, you feel exhausted, you feel discomfortable, your leg hurts, your back hurts, this hurts, making yourself stronger. The last thing is stop over planning and just do it. Don't fall for the nonsense out there where people are going to charge you exorbitant amount of money for their time, for their energy, for their efforts. It should all come from a good place. If these gurus are really doing as well as they claim they are doing, and they are indeed really passionate about helping you, they don't need to, hit you up, every single time they share something. I understand that everything is not free in life, but when it comes to the trading world and what Wall Street throws out there, I humbly believe that most things should be free. We sometimes think our we sometimes think ourselves of, how do we become successful? We want to do something, and then when we get to planning and we plan, we plan, we plan, we plan, and then we overplan. Two Newsbeat shows ago, Newsbeat show number 512, I literally show you one strategy that worked 100% of the time on every trade that I was watching. It either triggered where it was supposed to happen, or it never even set up in the first place, and you never did the trade. Here's here's what I recommend for you in terms of trading success. One moment. Excuse me. Ready, fire, aim. You mean ready, aim, fire, right, Mark? No. Ready, fire, and then aim. Because we spend too much time aiming in the market. Oh, I have to learn this setup and this, and the, this stock went up, and then I have to do this, and then I have to do this, and then I have to do this. We spend too much time aiming and we never fire. If you ever tried shooting a gun, and if you haven't, go to a firing range where it's safe. It's a lot of fun. Then you know that the longer you aim, the more shaky your hand becomes. Rather than that, what you want to do is put your hands up fast, give a fast look at your target, and boom. This is actually one of the biggest tricks to succeeding on a one and done, ladies and gentlemen, which you don't know. I just shared that with you. Hint. Any more than that, and you know you're going to miss. What are my conclusions of this? Being a millionaire and being successful is a matter of our mindset. In an easy way, you can have this millionaire mindset too if you're just following what some of the more successful people are doing out there. Not only that, through our 2020 report, which, yes, that is something that sold. I'm not sharing a link. If you want, reach out to T3. I'm not here trying to pitch you. I'm here just trying to help you with the mindset. We talk about how to build wealth over the long run, how I plan on approaching it, and how I do it. And when my family and my best friends come to me and they're like, Mark, I'm thinking of doing this. What do you think I should do? I will tell them the same exact thing in which I am telling and sharing with you. This year is coming to an end, and on Wednesday will be January 1st, 2020. It's going to be a new year filled with new opportunities, and if you're willing to take that extra step and do what is needed to be done to get to that next level, you are going to find that success is a lot easier than you first imagined, and that it's almost going to come to you randomly, and you're not even going to be 100% sure how it even arrived. But as long as you are fighting for that success, as long as you are fighting for that wealth, you're going to not only have me, but you're going to have a community of traders around you who are fighting every day for not only themselves, but for you to try to ensure that you reach and achieve your trading goals. Slap the like button if you enjoyed this video. Again, I don't monetize on it, but it lets me know that you enjoyed our content. Happy trading, make money. See you guys tomorrow on the Newsbeat live trading broadcast. Have a wonderful evening.